I beg to disagree with you if you believe you already know how deep the ocean is, because it's impossible to truly imagine the depth of the ocean. Just to give you an idea, suppose we were to remove all of the lands from every continent and island in the world. What do you suppose would be waiting for us there? Well, an ocean 2 miles deep would be covering the entire planet. That's a lot of water for sure, but given that water covers a much greater portion of our planet than just 2 miles, it's not that surprising. In this video, we will embark on a deep sea journey, so sit back and relax as we travel over the ocean's depths. Let's start with these 3 unusual items: a person, an elephant, and the Knock-Nevis, the largest ship ever made. And we'll dive underwater right away to see what we can learn. Are you ready? Let's get this started. On the first try, we were able to reach 40 meters below sea level. For any person, getting to 40 meters below sea level is a major accomplishment. This is the utmost depth that can be dived into for leisure. If we continue swimming down to 93 meters, we will arrive at the spot in the ocean where the Lusitania's wreck was found. What makes this case so intriguing is the fact that the 240-meter-long Lusitania collapsed in a body of water with a depth of only 93 meters. Therefore, if the ship is overturned, some parts of it would be seen above sea level. From 93 meters below the surface, we'll go 100 meters deep. I would understand if you wanted to stop swimming at this point, since it might become extremely dangerous, particularly when decompression sickness is taken into account. However, Herbert Nitsch, a diver, set a world record for free diving to a depth of 214 meters. And when we say free diving, we mean doing so without any sort of breathing equipment. This merely indicates that Herbert Nitsch took a single breath to descend to that depth. Incredible! A man by the name of Ahmed Gabr, however, was able to scuba dive deeper than Nitsch at 332 meters. At 332 meters, Gabr was able to descend even further and break a world record. The height of the Empire State Building, if it was immersed in water, would be 111 meters from where Gabr reached. The largest animal on the planet, the blue whale, can dive to a maximum depth of 500 meters below the surface. The U.S. Seawolf-class nuclear submarine can also go down to this depth. Emperor penguins can dive to a maximum depth of 535 meters. We must also discuss the strength of water pressure at this depth. The water pressure exerted on a human or a group of penguins at this depth below the surface is really something to behold. Going much further, we'll reach the point of the ocean whose depth is the same as the height of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Consider the world's tallest structure standing 830 meters. That is how deep it is indeed. Getting to 1,000 meters below the surface is definitely no joke, since this is the beginning of the danger zone. Since the light from above the ocean cannot reach this depth, everything is completely shrouded in darkness. Additionally, the water pressure you would be under at this point would be comparable to that of stepping on the surface of Venus, which effectively eliminates any hope of human survivability. However, if you're fortunate enough and the water pressure didn't kill you, you might encounter the giant squid at this depth, which is equally as terrifying. A point in the ocean that is 1,280 meters deep is where the leatherback sea turtle can dive to its greatest depth. If the Grand Canyon is located underwater, we would reach it at 1,828 meters further down. Inhale and exhale. Our journey isn't over yet, but before we continue, I just want to remind you that if you've made it this far into the video, you're clearly enjoying it. Give it a like, subscribe so you don't miss anything, and let us know what you think in the comments section. You will start to observe some of the most dreadful sea animals at 2,000 meters below the surface. One of these is the black dragonfish, a carnivorous creature that is difficult to spot. You can only see this monster with a flashlight, since it is completely dark at this point. And if we descend any further to a depth of 2,250 meters, we will approach the maximum depth to which both sperm whales and the extremely dreadful colossal squid can live. Because they frequently engage in combat with colossal squid, sperm whales frequently have scars and sucker marks on their bodies. The squids themselves have dinner plate-sized eyes and razor-sharp sickles in the center of their tentacles. They can expand to 14 meters in length and weigh up to 750 kilograms. If you ever descend to this level, all I can do is hope that you will make it out alive. The RMS Titanic wreck awaits us at a depth of 3,800 meters. Just a little deeper than that, at 4,000 meters, we begin to descend into the Earth's abyssal zone, where the water pressure reaches 11,000 pounds per square inch. The abundance of bizarre, unfamiliar sea animals living at this point of the ocean adds to the terrifying depth. The viperfish, anglerfish, and fingtooth are a few examples of these animals. People normally think that the average depth of the ocean, or the point at which you would reach the ocean floor, is 4,267 meters below the surface of the water. But the truth is that certain ocean depths are considerably more than 4,267 meters. There may be depths like 4,791 meters in some areas of the ocean, where the battleship Bismarck's wreckage from the Second World War can still be found. We will arrive at the so-called Hadal Zone, named after the underworld's Hades, at 6,000 meters. Of course, Hades' name is attached to this depth for a reason. This is primarily due to the fact that the water pressure at these depths can increase to 1,100 times that of the surface, which is something humans wouldn't stand, especially if you're not using any apparatus. But occasionally, life might still exist in some ways. An example of it is the DSV Alvin, a research submarine that was able to reach a maximum depth of 6,500 meters. This submarine was also instrumental in the Titanic's discovery. Now let's imagine that Mount Everest is placed deep in the ocean in an upside-down manner. We will reach its height at 8,848 meters below the surface. At 10,898 meters, we will achieve the depth that James Cameron attained in 2012 while participating in the Deep Sea Challenger mission. But it's important to know that in 1960, humans were able to travel to the deepest part of the ocean. In a course of 5 hours, two men by the names of Don Walsh and Jack Pickard used a submarine to go through the ocean to a depth of 10,916 meters. They only remained at this depth for 20 minutes before deciding to surface because a window in their submarine was shattered. The ocean's depth of 10,972 meters corresponds to the maximum flight altitude of a commercial airplane. That simply means that the depth of the abyss we are currently discussing can be understood if you have ever glazed out of a window while flying and looking down. Lastly, we have reached the Challenger Deep, the lowest point in the ocean at a depth of 10,994 meters. There are still areas of the ocean, though, that are deeper than this, just waiting to be discovered. For instance, the Sirena Deep, which has a depth of 10,732 meters and is the second deepest point in the ocean, was only discovered in 1997. This simply suggests that there may be more at the yet-to-be-discovered depths of the ocean. It's understandable given that just around 5% of the ocean floor has been investigated and documented. 95% of it is still a mystery. Who knows? Soon something or someone would be able to delve even further than we already have now. Other than what we've already mentioned, what else do you believe to be at the ocean's depth? Let us know in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please click the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are posted. And as always, thanks for watching Ponder This.